For today God says that there will be no more humiliation or suffering. The act of self-criticism or punishing oneself for circumstances that are beyond one's control is not something that interests me. Let yourself off the hook and forgive yourself for your actions. Self-torment, false guilt, and selfish remorse will continue to keep the door open for the tormentor who is your enemy to enter your life. This adversary will never leave your life as long as these emotions continue to hold the door open. I want you to know that I am not the Grand Inquisitor of the universe. Please accept this truth in your heart now. Whether you are crying your heart out or grieving over previous wrongdoings and events, you need to let go. Continue walking. Avoid listening to the excuses and feelings of shame that other people are unable to let go of. I declare that you are free and forgiven, especially in light of the fact that your faults and failings are first and foremost before me. Raise yourself up and go in the zeal of my home, which is you. Turn over the tables of those who are merchandisers of emotional conflict, guilt, shame, and blame leveling. I did this in the same way that I overturned the tables in the temple in Jerusalem. Let there be an end to it, even if it is only until today. Defy the urge to become rooted in self-referential patterns that originate from the past. Allow me to wash every layer of your inner man with the washing and purifying detergent of my word. Take those deep depths of your inner man and allow me to remove them. You are clean, in my opinion. I believe that you are pardoned. The most effective factor influencing your now is my blessing and favor standing in full expression in your tomorrows and transmitting the same favor, beyond expectation, blessing in advance of promotion and increase. They are yours, says the Father, and your righteousness is of me. The song that you are singing in your heart is warfare in your life, the Father says to you today. This day, you should go out into the world and make a war with your song. When you sing a new song in front of me, you will be able to see the new thing that will emerge in front of you. Things will shift in the future. Things will change in the future. Exalt my name and bless my name, and the heavens will open up, and fresh life and new hope will emerge in places where there was only dust and disappointment before. Let those who are living in darkness hear the declaration of my splendor, and they will rise up and seek for my light. As you walk in praise and worship before me on a daily basis, these will be souls for your labor and diamonds in your crown whenever you do so in a faithful and willing manner. What the Father has to say is that my name is great and has been considerably expanded in your life. You will be able to bask in my kindness and witness the annihilation of the adversary who had the audacity to lay siege to your life if you choose to call my name, because it is a tower that is both large and secure. In front of the ark of my presence, which resides between the cherubim of the inner chambers of your own heart, the idols will tumble on their faces and fall to the ground. It is because of your land that honor and majesty will be found. Within your inner sanctum, you will find both my strength and my beauty. Put forward an offering. Make your way inside my courts. My richness is yours to enjoy, and I invite you to take a deep drink of the living waters that are available to you. According to what the Father has revealed to you today, heaven and earth are coming together to watch over your life. In an outpouring of my presence, the 10 pegs of my glory covering are establishing themselves over you. This is being done in order to both reveal and deliver you from all of the attacks that the enemy has mounted against you. Your original habitat as a child of my birthing is an open heaven, and under the divine favor that you will go out conquering and to conquer, it is an open heaven. My dear, this is your native environment. You are not constrained by your history. When it comes to your social position or the circumstances surrounding your birth, you are not limited in any way. I planted the seed of trust and belief in your heart before the earth was even created, and it is this seed that will determine the only boundaries that will determine what happens next in your life. I called you before you were ever born, says the Father, and I knew you far before you were born. I recorded each and every one of your days in my book while you were still in the womb of eternity, where you were a material that had not yet formed. In light of this, you should be aware that a new chapter is about to begin in your life. In the book of my timelessness, a new page and a new chapter are about to turn, and they are going to disclose destiny and radically redefine what it means to be victorious in your life. You are now experiencing the unfolding of my covenant in new dimensions, and my promises are now being fulfilled beyond any and all of your expectations. In the name of the covenants of Calvary, I refer to you as a child. There will not be a single provision of the cross that is lacking in your life's circumstances. I have come to purify, cure, and deliver you, and the process of doing so starts from scratch and from the very beginning right now. The Father has spoken to us today, saying, I know when you sit down, and I know when you rise up. The way that you are currently traveling is entirely encompassed by me. You are in danger because I am standing in your way to protect, defend, and preserve you in the event that all of your other dependencies disappear and leave you exposed. Myself is your defense. I am at the top of your skyscraper. When you are standing on the parapets of my faithfulness, you will unleash the testimony of my faithfulness upon the adversary, and you will be protected from harm. I am completely familiar with every single word that you are saying, and I have tried each and every one of them. Permit the words you speak to be hammered out on the blazing forge of my fidelity. Your substance is not hidden from me, and even though the enemy comes to besiege you from the front and the back, you should not be afraid, because I have placed my hand upon you for the purpose of doing good and not for evil. I examine each and every resource that you have in your life, and I make place for supernatural growth so that you can fulfill all of your obligations and fully fund, your vision on this day, says the Father. Giving out to others what I have given you is what the Father instructs us to do today. What you make happen for other people, I will make happen for you in your own life to the fullest extent possible. Taking the word that my prophets have released into your life and distributing it to other people is an essential component of the process of fighting with the prophetic meanings. Always keep in mind that no prophecy can be interpreted in a private manner. Despite the fact that the word that was given to you is personal, it was never intended to be exclusive or closed off. In the event that this were not the case, even enormous portions of my word would only be applicable to the initial recipients to whom it was being directed. Do you place any importance on the Rhema word that was spoken over your life by my servants? Proceed to bless other people by bestowing upon them that which has brought about a change in your heart. Activating that word to come to pass, not only for them but also for you, is what you are doing by doing so. In my kingdom, now is the time for my children to mature, says the Father. My people have reached the point where they are ready to receive in their entirety the callings, ministries, and gifts that I have sent into the planet. When it comes to your life, there is nothing that I do in a piecemeal manner, lover. As a god, I am either all or nothing. The story that is being told about you before the foundation of the planet was laid should be given your complete attention. Avoid remaining in the shallows of immaturity and soulish infancy. Refuse to stay there. You have been summoned to mature into the full stature that I exhibited while I was on earth. Refuse to allow yourself to be blown around by the constant winds of theology. Because of the ambitions of man and the construction of their kingdoms rather than mine, my people are being blown away by its winds. Today, make a decision in your heart to be a seeker of the kingdom who abides in the vine that I am, and as I lead you to fullness and fruitfulness beyond your expectations, I will bring you to that place. The time for crying has come to an end, according to the Father. The period of mourning brought on by the loss of those things has come to an end. Put away the clothes of mourning and welcome the upgrading of joy and joy that is beyond description as your portion. Your past mistakes have never defined you, and they will never define you in the future. You do not count as a failure. It makes no difference about the path that your life has taken up until this point. I am the God who travels through time and eternity to change the course of your life, shifting it away from the path of disappointment and suffering and onto the route of advancement and promotion. At this very now, I declare to you that from this very moment forward, you will ride prosperously on the highest spots on earth. Low-income living is no longer acceptable. For a sufficient amount of time, you have been lingering about the mountain of the prickly place. This very day, you are going to be coming out. Get ready, the Father instructs you. Leave your bags behind and take your luggage with you. It is the wounds from the past. A preoccupation with what other people think and feelings of insecurity. The only thing that counts is what I say and what I have announced in the councils of heaven about you and your fate. This is the only thing that matters. I said in my word that you were holy and without blame before me in love before the very foundations of the earth were laid. Therefore you should refuse to shoulder the blame for what I commanded you to do. When I laid the foundations of the earth and plotted out the depths of the ocean, you were among the sons of God who sung for delight. Therefore, sing, declares the Father. The kingdom is joy, and joy is yours to possess. The kingdom does not merely bring joy, it is joy itself. And when my joy begins to manifest in your life, there will be the dawning of a new day and a new promise that will redefine all that takes place the next day. I am standing in your past prophesying into your future, the Father says today. I am standing among you. Plan A is still a possibility, and it is not too late to make a decision. Those things that you believed were gone for good from your life are now securely in my possession. I have the ability to keep what you have pledged to me, says the Father. I am perfectly competent to deliver it. Even in those aspects of life where loss appears to be so tragic and irreversible, you may trust me to provide you with a fresh perspective on a new existence. This day, I am filling you with expectancy, hope, and eagerness for those things that I am bringing about in relationships, in resources, and in open doors for the purposes of ministry. I am also bracing you for those things. You were informed that your ministry was terminated, but who exactly are these individuals? I made certain statements about you, and they did not accord with me. Even though they predicted to you, They did not believe the prophecies that they themselves had made. The Father recommends that you have faith in the prophets. Nevertheless, if they do not trust their own prophecies, then you should leave them aside and allow them to mature. Because it demonstrated a lack of maturity in love, they did not trust what I truly told them about you. This was due to the fact that it undermined their foundation of faith. Never forget that some people have compassion and are making a difference in the world. I am fulfilling the admonition, encouragement, and consolation of prophetic gifting as I established it in my word. The prophet who proclaims my heart and my love and my more than you could ask or think expectancy over your life is the one who is fulfilling these things. Embrace it, put the other person in the background, be quiet, and pay attention to what I have to say, because I am speaking to you today with a word of clarity that will enable you to triumph over all of the challenges that are in front of you. I am bringing a doubling of your crop during this season, the Father says. I am bringing it to you today. It is time to let go of the crops that have failed in previous seasons, including those that you planted in the wrong area, those that were mowed down by others, those that wilted in the drought, and those that dried out and perished in the heat of the day. Let everything go. For the crop you are harvesting right now is one that you did not plant and one that you did not water. The fruit will be mature and tasty, and your fig tree has flowered and given forth her fruit, producing twice as much as was anticipated. Now that the harvest has arrived, it is time to collect all of the baskets and to gather all of the laborers who will be working in the fields and orchards. You should gather the fruit because it is ready to be harvested. In current day and age, the fig tree is thriving not only at the period of your healing but also during the season of your tripling. Because I am taking you into a good land, for I am bringing you into a land that is full with wheat and barley, vines and fig trees, pomegranates, olive oil, and honey, says the Father. Today, the Father proclaims, I am drawing you into deeper waters than you have ever been before. I have brought about a wonderful coming together in your life, and it is all because of my hand. Those individuals who are possessed by a spirit of lethargy are being expelled. Their lack of interest in the ways of the kingdom is contagious, and the winds of my spirit that are sweeping through your life are preparing you for what is to come. Your testimonies will demonstrate that the zeal of my spirit has engulfed you into my embrace. You are going to be destroyed for the sake of the kingdom, because you are going to be a part of the open heaven that is both your destiny and your lot. The fields of blessing and abundance are beginning to sprout as seed fruit harvests now, and this is the time for you to take advantage of them. It is the Father who asks, are you able to take now as an answer? Have you made preparations for the upheaval and the transformation that will be brought into your life by absolute favor and infinite blessing? The Father states that those who are given a lot are expected to offer even more. Please accept the demand that my Spirit has placed upon you today. It is a preemptive act of faith that you should perform. Be conscious of the fact that it will cost you everything each time you cross a new threshold on the path that I have planned for you. As you make the decision to trade your limited life for my boundless and abundant life, which will be lived out in fullness from this day forward, you must let go of your reputation and the security you have built up in the status quo. Today, the Father tells you that you are currently in the season of my shortly come to pass. You have waited and waited, and the waiting has been a long time, but the time has come for you to face the conclusion and destiny that you have been waiting for. There will be no further delay. The denial must end. The word is spoken, and the angels declare in the heavens that a shift is taking place and that transformation is taking place. Transformation is taking place. In this moment, the winding road is being straightened out. In order for you to walk as my servant and my representative in the earth, the yoke has been made easy and the burden has been lightened upon your shoulders. You are invited to enter the ascension spot within your heart today, for it is an express elevator that will take you all the way to the top, where your dreams will be realized and the wishes that I have encoded into your heart will be brought into life. The Father argues that this is a time when there should be no holding back. You have overcome obstacles and undergone strain that is beyond your comprehension. Know that I will come to rescue you from the blazing conditions and bring you to rest on the threshing floor of my purpose. I will come to you in the middle of the strain. The Father says, as I hold you safe in the cleft of the rock that I am in your life, I am threshing out my judgments in the earth at this very moment. You can have faith and know that the shaking will eventually stop, and that you will emerge from the experience of being blessed and experiencing the full benefit of Calvary as your portion. This day, the Father declares, I will bring a stop to this. To put an end to the fight and the difficulty that you are experiencing in your life. Joy will emerge from the grief and tears that are shed. As you dance your feet in celebration of your newly discovered fruitfulness, the sweat that is on your forehead will eventually give way to laughter. I urge you to break free from the coping mechanisms that have not been successful in releasing you from your confinement and to break free from the leeks and garlics that you have been using. Not only is faith the substance of things that are hoped for, but it is also the substance of things that are hoped for. Please, sweetheart, give yourself permission to hope once more. You should once more embrace the expectations that you had when you were younger, before life conspired to deprive you of all joy. It is not enough for my kingdom to offer joy, it is joy itself. When you have achieved righteousness, peace, and joy, you will have reached the full extent of the entitlement that sons are due to you. You are a privileged child of a loving Father who sits on the throne of the universe, turning everything to your favor as you give up the life of self-interest and live your life entirely for me. I would like for you to understand that I am not angry with you, and that I am not withholding anything from you. Who among you would have the audacity to imply, in the blasphemousness of their theological thinking, that I would not respond to any of your less significant needs if I did not restrain heaven's darling from supplying your most pressing need? Ask, the Father instructs us. Get ready. Rejoice, for I would empty the richest vaults of heaven in order to satisfy the sincere and powerful prayers of those who come to me in their hour of need. To this day, the Father declares, I am the God of good, better, and absolute best. A message of struggle, downturn, and defeat is misguided and should not be preached by those who preach it. You've got me all wrong, is the one thing I would say to the counsels of the uninformed if I had the opportunity to say it again. Listen, my dearly beloved, I do not place any value on the misery of other people. In my plan for you, there is nothing that requires or contains suffering, struggle, difficulty, or denial. I have nothing like that. As the God of yes and amen, I am this God. Because you have chosen to surrender to the Shepherd, I am the one who bestows upon you life and life in greater abundance. It is my hope that you will be prosperous and well, and I have made provisions for the health and happiness of your spirit in order to make this a reality. Consider this comprehension as the focal point of your thinking. As you go about your day, do it with the expectation of encountering my indulgence and latitude in your life. Are you prepared to receive the love that heaven has heaped upon you in overwhelming proportions? Take the example of Jonathan, who disobeyed human authority in order to consume the honey of my goodness that was dipped in the staff of his spear. You have not been given the tools to impale one another or point the finger at one another. In addition, I have not commanded you to live a life in which you passively accept every difficulty and test that comes your way. Raise yourself up to the fullness of stature that can only be found within you where I am, which is on the inside. Be aware that the grandeur is within you for a day that will be better. Take into account the fact that I fulfill any requirement that you might have out of that glory. The kingdom that you are looking for is not some distant concept, rather, it is already present inside you as a result of the presence of my Spirit. Cleanse yourself. Obtain your freedom today. Accept your freedom and walk in the blessed time that occurs during your season, even at this very moment. The hour has come, as the Father has been saying today. The things that you have been expecting and in which you have placed your faith are suddenly crashing down on your life like the morning. Your life is about to be filled with the immediate presence of my promise. Disregard the phony, one day, someday, false expectation and do not allow yourself to be fooled by it. Right now, deliverance is coming. Today is the day that you will be saved or saved. I destroy the illusions and lies that the adversary has been spreading about your life. That you might see now at this time what has always been put off to some distant hour when supposedly all would be different is something that I remove from your eyes, thus removing the scales of false hope that have been weighing them down. There is a complete shift today. Now is the time to go water walking. Now is the time to bring your dead back to life and to the dried bones of your hopes that you would be able to stand up as a strong army. Please be aware that the time for your entry has arrived. Today is the day that you make the transition from the wilderness into the land of promise that is Canaan. Both your words and your deeds bring you to the other side. You make the transition while standing. It is important to keep in mind that I did not just snap my fingers and have Israel emerge from the wilderness. They left, just as I am leaving you from the season of pain and deprivation that you are currently experiencing. Every morning, I am your manna. Come to me. I, the rock, am the water that you drink. I am all of these things, and I am the mighty hand that causes the waters of the Jordan that are preventing you from crossing to rise up and allow you to cross without any shoes on, allowing you to achieve the entire experience of having your highest heart's desire and greatest dream come true. During this day, the Father instructs us to be combustible in my presence. According to the Father, I am a consuming fire. Are you willing to become a sacrifice for me? Please give me permission to burn the chaff, the wood, the hay, and the stubble that you have in your life, even on this very day, my dear. If you allow yourself to become molten in my presence, I will remove the dross that is standing in the way of you receiving the perfect promise of having your destiny realized and the ultimate heart desire in your life. In accordance with what I have spoken in my word, I am not a no God, rather, I am a yes God. As you run into my presence and let all things that offend me and obstruct you to experience the refiner's fire and the fuller's soap by which I cleanse, perfect, and purify you by my hand, there is not a single promise of my word that is not yes and amen in your life. I will fulfill every promise via my word. There is a way for you to enter my royal room on this particular day. This day, I want you to respond to the leading and the tugging that my spirit is exerting upon you. The voice that causes the lintels of my throne room to quiver and smoke is the voice of many waters rushing over you to change, to deliver, and to turn you into my flawless image. My voice is the voice that produces these effects. To be perfect, I am perfect. Be perfect. It is the promise, and it is the mandate that is being given. I am not going to abandon you from where you are. You will not be abandoned to endure the constraints and limits that are experienced by individuals who are not followers of Christ. This day, I am opening doors for you. You will get power from me. As at this very moment, I bestow upon you power, and within that power, a profound transformation and breakthrough is about to take place in your life. In this day and age, God commands us to go into the validating of sons. Because my spirit is within your heart, you not only have the ability to become a son, but you also have the ability to be set as a son. This day, I challenge you to make it your holy goal to become a set son in my kingdom and my house. I call upon you to set this as your goal. The Father adds, I am constructing a house of habitation in the earth for kings and priests who are aware of their accountability. I charge you in this hour to step up into that destiny for your life, and I commission you now to do it. No more rambling around without any direction or vision. I have called you to do and possess things that I have called you to possess, and you are no longer leaving those things to other people. Both the day and the season have begun anew. The leather on the old wineskins is cracked and dried due to age. They are devoid of vintage, and they are devoid of their joy. I extend an invitation to you to experience a fresh start in life and a fresh purpose, even if it is something that has been established in the area where you are concerned from the very beginning of the world. God would like to know where your accountability lies. Determining that you will not be discovered in the company of the children who are not accountable for their actions should be your resolution. The moment they are born, they are already life. They have come into contact with my spirit during the process of the new birth, but they have chosen to ignore the hand of my discipline and have rejected the reproof of a loving Father. I want you to turn away from all of these things today, and I want you to be circumcised in your heart and sealed in your mind with my revealed paternity, which establishes who I am to you and who you are to me through your obedience. In addition to bringing forth prophets, I am also bringing forth apostles. They are going to establish my reign, and they are going to bring forth my order of things. According to the Father, order creates splendor, and within that glory, a new foundation is constructed, one that is ancient in days gone by but new in your life, to bless and benefit you and to bring you through the ancient door where all of my intentions for you will be realized and made known. Now is the time to go out into the world and show people around you how much you love them. Appreciate the unlovely. Be kind to people who do not return your affection. Enjoy the company of folks who do not have any favorable thoughts or wishes for you. Cherish your adversary. Love those that are ignored. Your affection will come as a surprise to them. Reach astonishingly new heights of generosity by expanding the boundaries of your kindness. Put an end to the narrow-minded notions that others owe you something. The pettiness that is characteristic of a heart that is devoured by selfishness should be set aside. If you make your inner man a chamber that is filled with my compassion, then I will know that you have created room for me and that you have built a dwelling place for me that is suitable for my throne. When it comes to dealing with obstacles or prayers that are not answered, there is no magic recipe. It is not the problem that you do not have faith. Unleash your love is the solution to this problem. When love is allowed to flow freely, faith blossoms. You are destined to be the recipient of my love and to shower my love onto others. This is your ultimate assignment. Love without end for other people. Without a doubt, there will be a small number of people who genuinely notice, but a large number of people will. Your efforts are being disregarded, but what is that when, as a result of your actions, mountains are being moved? As a result of the uprooting of impediments, miracles are falling in an unprecedented quantity. The entirety of the concepts that there is absolutely no connection between the reason you aren't there and a delay or some hidden formula of prayer or plea. Undergoing a process of changes. In response, my beloved is going to make a decision beginning now and moving ahead. To experience and serve as an example of the love life. On this day, the Father declares, just as I am, so are you in the earth. Since I am not weak, it follows that you are not weak either. Due to the fact that I am solely from above, it follows that you are also from above and not from bottom. Due to the fact that I am superior to all principalities and powers, you are seated alongside me as a co-regent and co-ruler in Christ. The Father wants you to acknowledge this. All contradicting suggestions, whether they come from the mind of man, your own mind, or the surroundings that surround you, should be rejected. All authority, both in heaven and on earth, has been bestowed to me, so I am not withholding anything else from you. Even if it is mine, it is still yours to possess. My Son, my one and only Son, was not withheld by me. Therefore, please tell me what it is that I would not do for you. It is imperative that you refrain from listening to the disgusting recommendations made by those whose mind is encrusted with failure, depression, and unbelief. In its place, you should immerse yourself in my yes and amen promises on a daily basis, each and every one of which is applicable to you. The Father makes it clear that you are not a failure. Your circumstances should not be allowed to speak with a higher authority than the promise that I have made to you in your life. Because I am not in a state of defeat, you are not in a state of failure. In the context of the redemption that was paid for you on the cross, failure is a condition apart from that. Your country of origin. I have created an environment that is characterized by rules, authority, and permission to act and talk in my name. The all of heaven is standing at the command of your decree and statement, which is overflowing with faith. You should purify oneself by having this insight. Make yourself available to the purification of your thoughts and the slashing of your heart from the inside out. I want you to know that if there is a contradiction to my promise, it is not anything that originates from me. It is not my intention to steal from you or to bring about your devastation. Through the work of Calvary, The agenda of hell is rendered inactive and it's working against you on the condition of your faith and your confident expectancy. This is the work of the adversary, and it is the work of Calvary. Rejoice, the Father tells us, therefore. I want you to rejoice and be glad because this is the revealing of my goodness and my kindness, which is reborn each morning and grows from glory to glory and faith to faith each and every day of your existence.